Hello, Empowered Woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I will be talking about the 3 reasons why I am not doing a Black Friday sale. I've been seeing so many entrepreneurs online talking about why you should or shouldn't have a Black Friday sale. And really, my reasoning has nothing to do with the holidays. Anyway, I'll be sharing more on how my mission is to help discouraged entrepreneurs feel excited about their business again, and also about building relationships, engaging your audience, and learning to serve and not sell. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal development for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to stop spinning your wheels trying random personal development resources and actually boost your confidence to show up fearlessly in your life and business, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again. Let's dive into today's episode. All right, you guys, I decided to release and record this episode earlier in the week because I know it's going to be a busy 4-day weekend with Thanksgiving here in the US. And I wanted to touch on a couple of things that I'm working on right now and have been discussing in my content on social media, and also tell you why I decided not to do a Black Friday sale. Well, for one, everyone does it, right? The majority of people do it, and I know people's inboxes are going to be flooding in with a bunch of emails. And I am going to do my best to spend the most time with my family and unplug during those 4 days. And so I didn't want to have to be worrying about a sale and payments and people asking questions. Plus, my birthday is coming up. So exactly a week from now is my birthday. I'm going to be turning 34 years old. So December 2nd, that's my birthday. And I also share my birthday with Britney Spears, by the way, which is amazing. Or not. So I decided to actually do something over the following weekend where I'm going to be doing an amazing sale in honor of my birthday. So if you're not in my mailing list, I highly encourage you to go on and sign up. Just go to my website, martaspurk.com, and you can sign up right in the front page and get my 5 simple self-love hacks for entrepreneurs. You get a little gift from me, and you get in my list to see all the stuff that I'm going to be coming out with. So that's reason number 1. I'm going to be doing something over my birthday, and I think it's a lot more convenient anyways, because then I'm not competing with everyone else that's going to be in your inbox, okay? So that's number 1, and go get in my list to find out what I'm going to be offering in honor of my birthday. The second thing really is that I really want to help entrepreneurs that are feeling discouraged after such a crazy year. I want to help you feel excited about your business again, because I've shared over and over again how 2020 has been the best year in my business. And I know it hasn't been the case for many. And I want to really impart this excitement and this momentum that I have built in my business to you. This is really my vision with anyone that I work with, is bringing a smile to their face, is giving them hope that they can, pick themselves up and keep working and serve the people that they are meant to serve, which leads me into the content that I have been working on this week and that I will be working on all through December, which is so convenient, holiday times, giving thanks, showing love, spreading kindness. Is I want to really help you connect with your audience so that you start offering your services with a servant's heart instead of having that hustle, desperate, anxious mentality of I need to sell. Because here's the thing, my goodness, I've been in so many different coaching circles, and I've been in so many different programs. I've been trained under so many different mentors, and you hear different opinions on, should I be using the word sell? Should I avoid that word in my vocabulary? Should I be focusing on how many likes or comments I get in my posts to know if I am actually engaging my audience? And time has taught me that none of those things really, really matter. It all boils down to what is your intention behind what you're doing. And I understand that many of us are depending on our businesses to put food on the table, and that we need to make that income to make it worth it. Otherwise, we just need to go get a job, which in times like right now may not even be that easy of an option, right? But at the end of the day, people connect with you on a different level if you're really coming from the mentality of, I just want to share my knowledge with you and show you the value that I have so that I won't have to convince you to work with me. My attitude is going to be the convincing factor for you to work with me. And I have learned this through the years because in the beginning, when you hear people say, you really need to have a servant's heart, you have to have that steward's mentality, right? Stewardship. You really need to listen to your audience and all that stuff. You need to be authentic, right? You need to build relationships. All those things have become so played out that they have lost their meaning. And especially on social media, where so many people can put on this facade and be so fake, and then we start comparing ourselves to something that's not even real, it can really put us in a dark place. And what I have learned with time is that the meaning of all of those things really is in you taking the time to involve your audience when you create content, which is exactly what I did when I taught that workshop earlier in the month. I'm lost track of time. I thought we were already in December, almost, not yet. Earlier in the month with the Signature Talk Confidence Workshop that came from my webinar, Repurpose Like a Boss. I've understood, and especially this year, that you can't put anything out and expect people to engage if you didn't involve them in the creation process. You have to be asking people questions on your social media before you even put out a free offer. And this is something that I posted earlier over the weekend. I said, do you have a freebie that nobody's signing up for? Because how many coaches have you heard or have told you need to create a lead magnet, you need to create a freebie and put it out into the world, and then you need to build your audience so that they'll sign up for your freebie, and then they'll be on your mailing list, and then you're going to nurture them through the mailing list. It's just so many steps, and they're very necessary steps. But what I've realized is that if you are not involving your audience even in the creation process of this freebie, no one's going to sign up for it, so it's all wasted time. I have learned the hard way that you should not create a whole program and then try to sell it. You should really ask people what they want from you and involve them in the process. Even if you already have an agenda and something that you are going to teach, ask them if they know a certain concept. Ask them if they need help with a certain concept, because that'll even help you tailor the content that you already have in mind to those people, and even tinker with the name so that the name is more appealing to them. But you won't know until you ask them those questions. And isn't that what building relationships is like? Because for the longest time, when I would hear coaches saying, build relationships, nurture relationships, I just thought, my goodness, there's only so many hours in the day for me to have a billion Zoom calls to potentially have a lead that potentially will get on an actual discovery call that potentially will say yes to me. That's like so many different hoops. How am I ever going to land clients if this is the way? And then you think, well, you need to be having more conversations in the DMs, right? So that the chances of you having a discovery call are greater. And then it just, you go in this spin cycle, right? And what I've noticed is that all those things are helpful. All those things, it really depends on your business model and what works for you, what has worked for you. But at the end of the day, if you are not making it a point to ask questions and have people see your content in different ways, which is what I taught in the Repurpose Like a Boss webinar, then you're really doing yourself and your audience a disservice. Because if you would just take the time to create content that is engaging, then you would know what they want from you, and then they will sign up for the free stuff that you put out, which makes them 100 times more likely to actually buy what you're going to offer in your free offer. Does that make any sense? If you are not doing a very good job promoting your free stuff, how are they going to be primed enough to actually buy into something paid? And so this is what I wanted to share with you, is that I've been having these real revelations of what building relationships really mean. Because building relationships is the same as market research, is asking them what they need help with or what they know somebody else needs help with, right? Referrals. All those things are really fall under the same category of human connection, basics, right? Basic human connection. I'm going to act like a human being with another human being, and they're going to help me. And I think social media took a lot of that away from what we had known before, You could just have normal conversations and say, this is the business that I have. This is the knowledge that I have. How can I help you? Or do you know somebody that I could help? Do you know someone that I could be connected with? And as I'm recording this, I'm actually about to do a training inside my Facebook group, and you can hop on and catch the replay because I'm going to be releasing this episode afterwards, that is called Building Relationships 101, and how we have lost sight of what that really means. And I have really come to understand that this year, because of the isolation, because of my only resource really being social media. And so I highly encourage you to go listen to that. But the other thing that I wanted to say as well, besides staying away from selling and really learning how to serve, not that selling is a bad word, because I know of so many coaches that say, don't use that word, right? And I never really understood why. I was just like, so is this like Voldemort, the name that shall not be named? And it's not that selling is a bad word, is that the attitude and the intention behind it usually is an intention of desperation. Because that's when you think salesy, slimy, sleazy, car salesman, right? Pushing stuff on you. Or even the concept of people don't like being sold to, meaning they don't want to be pushed. They want to be drawn to you. And that's another thing that I've had some discussions earlier in the week about this, and people were like, that's not true. People do like to be sold to. We're being sold to all of the time. But the point of that is that I don't want to feel like I'm being forced or pushed. I want to really feel drawn because I see the value in it. And isn't that what everyone preaches? When you see the value, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You're going to find a way to make it happen, and it's going to be a yes. It's going to be a yes even before you tell me the price. Is it not? When you're really, really interested, when they really make their case, it's like, I don't even need to know how much it is. I'm going to figure this out because this is amazing. So that's what that means with people don't like being sold to. Because they want true connection. They don't want to be treated like a number. They want to be treated like a person. And this is what we have lost with social media. Because it's like we're robots, and because the algorithm really pushes you to do stuff and to think in a certain way. And it's almost like you're being controlled. You don't have your own ideas of who you want to interact with or what you want to do, which takes me to the concept of engagement. When you think engagement in your content, you think how many likes, how many comments. And that's another thing that I have learned that doesn't mean much, because you can get likes and comments on a baby picture and that's not making you any sales, right? All the moms out there that post pictures of your kids and you have this amazing story and, post where you're teaching something, nobody even comments on your actual copy. They just say, what a cute picture. And you're like, wow, that's not what I wanted. And so that's what I mean with engagement is it doesn't matter, how many likes or how many comments, is the feedback that you get from a question that you ask, something that pertains to your content. And you will only know by testing and also trying different things and really making it a point to be intentional. So that's another thing, another word that we hear a lot. Be intentional with your posts. And I always thought I was being intentional because I'm posting because I want to make a sale. Of course I'm intentional, but that's not what that means. Being intentional means I'm asking this question because I want you to be prepared for the content that I'm going to be putting out. This is what intentional means. It's reverse engineering your paid offer to a free offer to all the priming that comes beforehand. And if you're familiar with Jeff Walker, he talks a lot about the pre-launch, right? Even before you launch something, the pre-launch is even more important because that's how you prime your audience. And isn't that relationship? Isn't that the basics of building a relationship with someone? Think first base, second base, right? You don't just jump in. There's a whole courtship with your potential client. It's the same. And we forget, we lose sight of that, especially with all the get rich quick courses and programs, 6 figures in 2 days type stuff. It's really, twisted our vision of what's possible and how building a business really is. And so basically this episode is just to give you a little bit of a preview of the content that I'll be putting out through the month of December. It's all going to be focused on building relationships, making meaningful connection with your audience so that you are truly serving them. You're not just pushing a product. You're listening to them and you're catering your content that you already have in mind to your specific audience, okay? By listening to them. So it's not that you're going to be teaching something completely off and different. It's that you are going to be catering what you already have to what they're asking from you, because this is what I have done this entire year, and it's really made amazing progress and success in everything that I have been doing, and really made me the most income ever in my coaching business. And coming from this mindset of sharing and serving, I want to share this with you. And another super cool thing that I wanted to share, and I'll be releasing another episode to talk more about it, is that I will be hosting another webinar on content creation that engages your audience, and I will be calling it Engage to Serve. And you can sign up by just going to marchasburg.com/webinar. It's going to be a similar format to Repurpose Like a Boss, but with this little tweak of focusing on building relationships and really connecting on a deeper level with your audience so that you really turn your audience into clients, and even more than that, raving fans, which is what I have been able to do this year as well. So go on ahead, sign up for my mailing list, either on my website, marchasburg.com, or just go to marchasburg.com/webinar and get all the deets for this webinar that I'll be teaching called Engage to Serve. It's going to happen December 10th at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, but you'll see more on that soon. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope to see you on my mailing list if you're not on there already. All the links are in the show notes. And for those of you in the US, happy Thanksgiving. I am so grateful for you. Until next time, bye.